Meanwhile, at the International Space Station.
Hey, Hoskins.
Yeah, what's up?
I got a ping from one of the airlocks. Was someone supposed to come around today?
Don't think so. Not that Houston tells me anything.
Should I go check it out?
Yeah, better safe than sorry. Is that Forrest? Tell him to go away. I'm still hungover from last night.
Howdy, folks.
Jesus, Hollyhock and Crimbo, who the heck are you?
Pleasure to meet you. You can call me Henry. Everybody does.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry. Shouldn't you be asking him who he is and how he got up here? Maybe a bit more of a pressing issue?
Yes, indeed. A fantastic question, my dear astronautic friend. Allow me to answer it with another question. How often do you clean your gutters?
Like, I don't?
At home, at work, wherever.
Oh, well, in that case.
That's enough of that, Baldwin. Sir, you do realize you're not supposed to be up here, right? How did you even get here?
Oh, the same way everybody gets around, I imagine. In any case, it sounds to me like you don't take care of your gutters very often.
I guess we don't.
What are you talking about?
Irregular gutter maintenance can lead to clogging, which can be a pain to clean, especially if left untreated for weeks or even months.
Sure, but what's that got to do with...
No, he's got a point. Continue.
Which is why I'm proud to introduce you to Clogaway, a brand new innovation in gutter protection. Its patented design prevents leaves, debris, and even animals from entering your gutter, stopping clogs from
Look,
even
we're
happening.
not buying what you're selling, and you still haven't told us how you got up here.
I don't know, Hawkins. I had to unclog my gutters back at home a couple times. Not fun.
Yeah, sure, maybe, but in case you haven't noticed, we're in space. Can't exactly drive the company truck out here, can we, Henry?
Yes, of course. Space. Which is all the more reason to invest in Clogaway. Our trademark alloy of stainless aluminum and depleted uranium is shorter.
Okay, maybe I wasn't clear enough. The International Space Station does not have gutters. Maybe you saw that when you were passing by in your rocket, jet, flying saucer.
Oh, well, you see. Why didn't you tell me you didn't have any gutters?
Yeah, Hoskins, why didn't you tell him?
Well, excuse me, I thought it was... Now, hang on, don't go changing the subject on me.
I'm pretty sure you changed the subject first.
Aren't you the least bit curious how this trespasser came to be passing his trespass on the International Space Station? You know, famous for its lack of gutters?
No gutters. Well, that's a shame. In that case, I suppose I'll have to just introduce you to our full clog prevention package, which includes gutter installation complete with our copyrighted Clogaway gutter protection system. It is an absolute steal with no down payment and only $99 a month.
Oh, that's a bargain.
Jesus, barrel-bending criminal. There are no leaves in space. We don't need gutters. This is a space station. In space. There is no rain. There are no trees. And no one up here needs a gutter installed on anything. Comprende?
Hoskins, calm down. We haven't even heard the full offer yet. Now, Henry, that $99 a month, that's for how many months?
Well, with this special one-time offer, we're waiving not only the down payment, but the installation fee as well. All you need to pay is $99 a month, no fees, no surcharges, no gimmicks.
No installation fee. That's pretty generous.
You didn't even answer this question. Didn't answer any of my questions either. But hey, how many months?
$99 a month.
For a year? 2 years? How long?
$99 a month.
I wonder if Houston would pay for it.
Jesus, Tom, Dick, and Harry and Columbo, Baldwin. NASA's not going to pay for gutters it doesn't need until the end of time.
And that's what you said about the weightlifting machines. And we're still leasing them even though they don't work in space.
That's true. Guess we gotta space them.
Ah, good. I've been meaning to take a look at your property. Good thing I brought my surveying equipment.
Surveying equipment? How do you plan on using that in space?
The same way everybody uses surveying equipment, I imagine. Now, if you don't mind, I left all of that in my... Oh, well, you know.
No, I don't know. Please tell us.
Oh, it's not all that unusual, I'm sure. Now, if you don't mind...
No, wait, you can't just... I was just joking about spacing them, I swear.
Well, it's kind of a shame. He seemed pretty nice. We should invite him over when he's off the clock.
How?
What do you mean, Al?
Has no one ever explained explosive decompression to you? Or were you just not listening when they did?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? One of those lights was just blinking over there.
Never mind, let's just get back to whatever the hell we doing.
Now, this is exactly what I was talking about. Your roof is filthy.
Hey folks, welcome to The Last Minute. I'm Dustin Wong, the guy who's afraid to use cash at the store. Because he doesn't want people staring at him as he tries to put the money back in his wallet. I know no one's actually watching me or looking at me or caring about me, but I can't help but feel judged because they're just waiting for me so they can buy their groceries, and I'm just trying to shove singles and fives and quarters in my wallet, and it never goes in neatly, and it's weird. Anyway, in the immortal words of Earth, Wind, and Fire, do you remember the 21st night of September? Because I sure as hell don't, but here's what happened anyways. According to the Johns Hopkins University, American deaths due to COVID have surpassed over 600,000, officially marking the coronavirus as the deadliest U.S. pandemic since the flu outbreak of 1918, as well as officially classifying coronavirus as more than just the flu. Like, official, like it's not even up for debate anymore, guys. The country of Sweden has banned all non-essential U.S. travelers regardless of vaccination status, which is the first time Sweden has taken a stance on global politics ever. COVID, making history yet again. France has also banned unvaccinated U.S. tourists. Cowards. President Biden plans to announce a new requirement for employers with more than 100 employees to mandate COVID vaccinations. This has caused some concern amongst local companies, but I'm sure it won't affect the Stop and Shop near me since only 2 people seem to work there. Look, I just want to buy some milk. Why are there only ever 2 registers open? Huh? I get that some people are still staying home and being safe, but this was a problem pre-COVID too. Like, where is everyone? They can't possibly run a store with only 2 people. I mean, all I want to know is, when did it become more Stop than Shop, huh? We were never going to get sponsored by them. I'm fine with this. In Florida, the petri dish of America, students are no longer required to quarantine after being exposed to COVID. And at this point, I would believe it if someone told me everyone down there already had it. California enacted a law that would strip badges away from bad police officers. It's funny how they just don't use the word fire. It's a nice sentiment, but I remember how well it worked for the Catholic Church. Unfortunately, the country of Afghanistan is still under Taliban rule after the Taliban seized control this past summer, to which the US government replied, "Yeah, our bad." One of the Taliban's new restrictions was banning all protests made without their approval, which is kind of like when someone tags you, then says no tagbacks. Permanently. And ironically, yet unsurprisingly, they have banned female employees from entering the Ministry of Women. Did they also ban people in wheelchairs from using handicap stalls? I mean, who do they think these things are there for? I mean, the way these men think they know more than women, you'd swear they held office in Texas. Many Afghans had to flee their country with nothing more than the shirts on their back, so the Biden administration is making plans to give each evacuee up to $2,275. And I'm worried the words "up to" are doing a lot of the heavy lifting there. And I know I'm not the first person to ask this, but who comes up with these numbers? I mean, 2,275 is pretty specific. Not 2,200 and not 2,300, but 2,275. As if to say, boy, yeah, I really screwed the pooch on that one. You know what? Here's an extra $75. Get yourself something nice. Like, imagine hosting a party and a bunch of guys you didn't invite show up. They wreck the place, and the next time you see them, they're like, "Oh man, yeah, sorry about that. Here's a taco. We cool?" And in case you forgot, this year marked the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and President Biden has publicly called to declassify all government documents surrounding that day. I'm sure it's going to be a big shock to everyone when it's revealed that the true culprit of the attack is conveniently the next country we want to go to war with. And finally, at the turn of August into September, the so-called streaming platform OnlyFans announced they will initiate a ban on explicit adult content on their website starting October 1st. Joining us on, well, due to legal reasons, not Zoom, let's call it something else, something ridiculous, like, I don't know, Skype. Here on Skype with his report is our business correspondent, Bryan Phelps.
Thank you, Dustin. Though OnlyFans has dominated media attention and general topic of conversation, many other major corporations have also been rumored to follow suit by making their own fundamental changes to their own platforms. Here's what I've gathered so far. KFC will no longer offer chicken on the menu. YouTube will initiate a ban on all reaction videos to be uploaded on their platform. Amazon will not only no longer offer Prime shipping, but delivery altogether. Old men will no longer be allowed on any private golf course across the country. Coca-Cola has announced it will limit the Coke brand to only one diet soda. All Kyles worldwide will be banned from drinking Mountain Dew Code Red. Apple will discontinue the iPhone series and allow users to do whatever they want with their products. College and university students will be barred from ordering Domino's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, or chicken wings after 9 p.m. From this point forward, all esport and video game-related events will now have basic hygiene requirements from their patrons. All major Hollywood studios have reached a mutual consensus to discontinue producing commercialized remakes, franchises, and outdated sequels. And finally, The Last Minute with Dustin Wong will officially become a funny podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that an official statement? Do you have a source for that?
The last one was a personal opinion. Hold on. I am receiving word that OnlyFans has made a public announcement claiming that they are officially reversing their adult content ban. It seems as though they realized their initial decision was short-sighted, and choosing not to move forward is the clear choice to make. A move with the clarity, one would say, one could only receive post-nut.
Thank you, Bryan. That was very astute. We'll be right back after this.
Yes, hello and salutations. I am Stavros the Amonkotopoulos, very proud owner of the Crazy Stavros' Emporium of Wacky Wonders and Wild Wastelands. You can, just like in the name, call me the Crazy Stavros. Everybody doing it. So come on down. We have wide selection to be choosing to. Very wide. Are you heading back to the schools? Browse through our selection of books. Just the one book. It's all we have. But it has everything you could possibly be wanting on its pages. Take with it to school, and no matter the class, very big knowing. It has geometry, geology, dentistry, spiders, everything you could possibly be wanting so much. See? Very wide. So please, come on down to Crazy Stavros'. We only have the one book, and this single copy, please. We need to be having it bought, or I will have to pay landlord with a lot to my pockets. And if a very American businessman living in the closet back of the store tries to sell you similar to mine book, be feeling free to telling him his baby and wife would never have loved him. And if he is not slinking back in the closet in shame, take beating stick off the wall and have going to town with him. But either ways, come on down to Crazy Stavros' Book Emporium of only one book, and the beating stick is not for sale. Buy my book!
Well, as the song goes, the stars at night are big and bright deep in the heart of Texas, unless you're not white or Christian or a man, in which case things are just only getting darker. Which brings us to our buried lead. Earlier in the month, the Supreme Court refused to block the Texas law that would ban abortions after 6 weeks. Because who wouldn't want to raise a baby they didn't want, where the heat and electricity only work half the time? Governor Greg Abbott, who signed the law, defended it and said his goal is to eliminate rape. He says no woman and no person should be a victim of rape. But just when you think he might care a little bit, you read that this new law does not exclude pregnancies due to rape and or incest. So, okay. Starting now, he's against rape. Those affected by the law are any doctors who continue to perform the medical procedure, because that's what it is, or anyone who aids and abets a woman getting the procedure. But you know who's not affected? The woman. I'm not saying I agree with this law by any means. I think it's immoral and unconstitutional, but in their eyes, abortion is murder, right? And when someone is murdered, you go after the murderer, obviously. But should you not also go after the person who chose for the murder to happen? Like, do they think Don Corleone is an upstanding citizen because he himself did not put the horse's head in the bed? I mean, is outsourcing a legal loophole? Again, I can't be more against this law, but the logic is just ridiculous, especially considering that after 6 weeks, some women still don't even know they're pregnant yet. This is the biggest and most successful blow to Roe v. Wade since its ruling back in 1973. Several other states have made similar attempts, but Texas is leaving the enforcement to private citizens through civil lawsuits instead of law enforcement officers or criminal prosecutors, which basically turns everyday people into bounty hunters, which is a quick and easy recipe for disaster. I mean, they'll feel like the Mandalorian, but really they'll just be that one gossipy snitch in the PTA no one likes. And you know what, Karen? Yeah, I brought brownies to the bake sale. Box brownies. I'm not that good in the kitchen, I'll admit it, but at least I'm not drinking vodka at 2 p.m. Yeah, I can still smell it 6 feet away, honey. You're not fooling anyone with the water bottle. But if you really think about it, this is the most terrifying part of the law. We already judge people enough. We shouldn't get to play judge too. Like, this could open the door for private citizens to take anything they don't agree with to court. How much longer before other constitutional rights become a suable offense? And as we've seen in the past few years, some of our neighbors have very strong opinions. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Ask anyone who's worked with a friend who got promoted way too quickly. They'll understand. You can't just give anyone a clipboard, let alone that level of authority. I just find it funny when states like Texas pick and choose what freedoms are actually available in the land of the free. Governor Abbott also passed a law that prohibits the banning of users on social media based on their viewpoint, so someone can rant and rave all they want about this and that without the worry of consequence. However, Greg, freedom is a double-edged sword. Well, at least freedom of speech is. So I hope you can handle you and your buddies getting an earful of our viewpoint on you. And in an unrelated matter, the Nazi population in Texas has skyrocketed. A group called Texas Right to Life set up a website to collect information anonymously about those violating the new anti-abortion law. It was quickly taken down by GoDaddy after it was flooded by fake reports. It's almost as if the internet is filled with ignorant, petty people and trolls. At the time of this recording, Texas Right to Life has yet to find a domain for their site. Even the Temple of Satan has joined the fight as they attempt to legally maneuver around the ban through the use of religious freedom. Is there a more clear sign that you're in the wrong when Lucifer himself is like, "Whoa, look, I spend my days shoving bees with teeth up the dick holes of the damned, but this is too far. I mean, you know it's her body, right?" Fortunately, places like the Planned Parenthood Clinic in Fairview Heights, Illinois, have prepared for, in their words, a post-Roe world, and offer a haven to individuals fleeing from neighboring states trying to safely have abortions. Because that's what the law will really cause, not a drop in abortions, but a drop in safe abortions. Luckily, there are people like Dr. Alan Braid who said he had a duty to care for his patient when he performed an abortion after the law had been passed. And in his defense, he broke a law that broke a law. These events have led to Texas residents and companies to be uncertain about their future in the Lone Star State. Salesforce has offered to relocate employees and their families. The dating app Bumble began a fund to aid those who seek abortions, and the Match Group CEO Shar Dubey began a fund for employees who are forced to seek care out of state. David Simon, the creator of HBO's The Wire, had planned to film a new show in Texas, but has chosen not to out of respect for the women in the cast and crew of his show. He even went on Twitter asking for locations similar to Dallas. Shortly after the law had been passed, the U.S. Department of Justice sued the state of Texas for... Shortly after the law had passed, the U.S. Department of Justice sued the state of Texas, saying the law is unconstitutional. A hearing has been scheduled for the beginning of October. So here's hoping this step back does become a couple hundred steps back. But in the meantime, I'm adding Texas to my list of places I'm going to hold off visiting for a while, alongside Florida and Australia. Nothing personal against Australia. I'm just not really comfortable with the idea of being on the same continent as a spider that's as big as my face. Yeah? Alright, we'll be right back after this.
Hello, I am Stanley, American businessman, and I have question for you. What is worst part of school? That's right, the reading. Too many books make you feel not so smart because why smart person have to read so many books? And bad for back also not good. I used to be like you. I carry too many books. I think there must be better way. Now there is. Yes. I have one book and it's all you need. Look at all the things it has. You want the masses here. You want the sciences is here. You want the English, guess what? Is also here. And that's not all. You want the history is here. You want the philosophies is here. You want to ask why someone would spend life savings to buy one book instead of food for family. Then wife leaves and takes baby and you think only way to get wife back is to sell one book? Is here. No more you have to find right book for you. Now all you need is one book. Book find you. 155-pound, 12,000 page book. So come down to Stanley's bookstore to buy my one book. Is all I have. One book. That's all I have is the one book. Only thing I'm selling is my one book. Once you buy it, no more as I have. So please buy my book. Please, I beg, please buy my book. Please, I miss my wife so much. Please buy the book. Buy my book. Stanley's Bookstore, located in the back room of Crazy Stavros' Emporium of Wacky Wonders and Wild Wastelands.
So the Swedes feel like life would be sweeter without us in their country, and everything's bigger in Texas, including the hypocrisies. But in other news, this month, the international scientific community, including Dr. Anthony Fauci and the health minister of Trinidad, researched and agreed that the COVID vaccine has no connection to causing impotence and testicular swelling. This hypothesis, of course, is being proposed by a source whose previous published works include Stupid Hoe and Bees in the Trap. William Shatner is going to space. Just had to say that out loud for myself. William Shatner is going to space. The 90-year-old actor from Star Trek is going to become the oldest person to ever go to space next month. Why? I don't know. Is this like the space equivalent of I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV? I mean, it's cool, but like completely unnecessary? Who's in charge of this? Musk? Okay, that pans out. Overseas in Staffordshire, England, a man was arrested for stealing Viagra from a local pharmacy and was described by his lawyer, and I quote, as not a hardened criminal, which, by the sounds of it, seems to have been the primary motive in the first place. And in case you weren't already drowning in endless despair, scientists are now warning us that the world is not ready to overcome a once-in-a-century solar superstorm. And just when we thought that 2020s couldn't get any worse, to add another entry to the already long list of enemies, even the sun, our sun, the entity that gives us life, the holiest of holies, the big ball of fire in the sky, is rooting for our demise. That's it, right? That's just the ball game. Like, it's the sun. We can take the moon. I think we can take on the moon. But the sun? Get out of here. According to a European survey, most people over 50 consider the ages of 30 to 34 have been the best years of their lives, which I'm sure applied before March of 2020. Apparently, the Federal Trade Commission has opened an investigation as to why McDonald's ice cream machines are always broken, which is what it will take for Americans to simply not accept that the McFlurry is no longer on the menu and just drive to a nearby Wendy's to get a Frosty instead. This message brought to you by my head writer, Ricky Hamilton, and does not endorse or an opinion shared by me, because fuck Wendy's. The only thing good there are the spicy nuggets, and they're not even that spicy. Look, I get that you're upset. You wanted something from a restaurant. They didn't have it. Okay. But it's a McDonald's. I mean, like everything you get, you're 50% disappointed with it. You kind of just accept it for what it is. So there's no longer ice cream. So what? All they had was one flavor. They didn't even have, it was soft serve. They didn't even have like the chocolate, vanilla, and then like the little twist. Just the vanilla. You were basically eating white mucus. Fuck off with that. And then a Frosty? You want a Frosty, Ricky? Fuck out of here. Go to a diner. Get a milkshake, for God's sakes. Or you know what? Go to a fucking Dairy Queen. Get one of those. A Blizzard. Get a Blizzard. A Blizzard even sounds better than a Frosty. They gotta do the whole thing where they flip the cup? That's cool. That's nifty. Or go to a Carvel. Go to a Carvel. Get a Fudge of the Whale, my friend. Get a goddamn ice cream cake. A Frosty? A Frosty? Let me tell you, ice cream that only costs $1 can't be good for you. A Frosty? Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. What, you go to Subway for the cookies? Come on! I bet you do, you bastard. You long-faced, pencil-faced goon. I know you do. I know you do, you pubic-haired faced bastard. Anyway, amid reports of homelessness and food insecurity, 25,000 employees sued Disneyland for higher wages. And mysteriously, were never heard from again. German hamster Mr. Gox has recently been made famous as it has been locked in a cage designed to trade cryptocurrencies that will automatically buy and sell tokens, and since June has been outperforming the S&P 500, because that's just how much logic there is to cryptocurrency. America's lovable giant Shaquille O'Neal officially denounced his celebrityness, claiming in an interview with the New York Post, "I'm done with it," which he followed with, "Just like I'm done with overpriced insurance premiums. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time." And lastly, as a podcast that strives to provoke thought and laughter, striving being the key word here, we'd like to recognize the late comedian Norm McDonald. Norm was known for his work on Saturday Night Live, various talk show appearances, and just as an overall influence on this podcast. Norm unfortunately passed away this month due to acute leukemia at the age of 61. Or so the Germans would have us believe. We'll be right back after this. So, someone forgot to write ad read jokes this month. It was me. But in reality, this episode was brought to you by Axum Design. They're not really our sponsor, but they've been a great help in the production of this episode and hopefully more to come. So we just want to give them a quick shout out. So everyone say, thank you, Axum. Very good. All right, now back to the show. All right, folks, I'm out of here. But remember, the early bird may get the worm, but if you wait until tomorrow, the worms are half off. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. The Last Minute with Dustin Wong, a 20-something Studios production. Hosted by me, Dustin Wong. Featuring Hunter Bustamante, Liam Foley, Ricky Hamilton, Patrick Matthew, and Ryan Phelps. Written by Dustin Wong, Hunter Bustamante, Liam Foley, and Ricky Hamilton. Cover art by Joey Bashand. Special thanks to Axum Design. Contact the show at thelastminute.dw@gmail.com.